Good evening. Thank you for joining us today for the class of 2023 registration. We really appreciate that you're here with us today. We'll do some quick introductions before we begin. My name is Lisa Goyle, and I'm one of the assistant principals here at River Falls High School, here to support your students throughout their career here.
I'm Amanda Whipke. I'm one of the teachers here at RFHS.
And I'm Molly Scanlon, one of the counselors that's both here at the high school and at Renaissance Academy. And we are very excited to talk to the class of 2023 about registration.
Note that there will be a time for questions at the end that you can chime in, so you can have an opportunity to ask any questions that you have. We're starting going through the academic career planning today, updated graduation requirements, standardized testing, capstone opportunities, and registration. So we're going to start with academic career planning. It's important to note that every district in the state needs to have an ACP plan. This is about career exploration for your student. It's for every student to find their path. And we use multiple tools such as Zello to help your students discover what the best path for them might be. There are 4 stages of successful ACP planning. When you're in the high school and you're looking through this plan, it's important to help you realize what you want to do, what your interests are, what you might want to explore, what things that you want to try and do, and the different ways to get there. And we're all here to help you with that, and the plan in the guide is really helpful with that as well. There are a lot of activities that you can participate in to help you decide what your career path might be. And it's a great time your junior year to visit colleges, to visit work sites, to see what you might really want to be trying out and focusing in on. In the ACP guide, there are checklists per grade level. This helps the student and the parents navigate the journey. And it's important to note that things on the checklist may or may not pertain to every student. So that is why we have so many things to offer, so that you can choose what is best for you. In the ACP guide, which is really a beautiful tool that we use, it's located on the website. You can access it at any time. You'll notice that there are 3 parts to this ACP guide. The first part is the overall high school and program information that you can help find out what you need for details in that area. We also have the career pathways and the Laude and course information to help you select the correct courses for the path you want to take. Within the ACP guide as well, you'll notice that there are career pathways. There are 6 different pathways that students can look at and explore throughout their career here at River Falls High School. One thing you'll notice when you go into the ACP guide and you'll see all the different information, within the 6 pathways, they're very detailed occupational areas that will help to guide you with what you might want to explore. It helps point out different courses to take in the different pathways, including classes you can take for college credit while at high school. And it's just a great guide overall for you to use to find out what you might want to try to do. Next is Amanda.
All right, we'll be talking through some things that you need to consider as you're helping your student register for this next school year. So first, as you can see, you need 28, or your student needs 28 credits to graduate. And you can see that there are required credits that add up to 15.5, as well as elective credits that add up to 12.5. And these are all in that course planning guide, so you can take a look at that. And we'll talk next more specifically about the required courses for your soon-to-be junior. So they have the option to take a couple different AP classes, or just the regular class that they could take in their junior year. So for English, they can take American Literature or AP English Language and Composition, also known as APLAC or AP Lang. And then for Social Studies, they can take American Studies or they can take AP US History. So it would be very important for your student and for you to take a look at the course guide to see what those classes involve. And it would also be another great idea for your student to talk to their social studies teachers and talk to their English teachers to see more about that class and find out what it all involves and see if it would be a great fit for them. Math will go into a little bit more detail on the next slide, but there are 3 years that are required, and that can be taken grades 11 or 12 for that last year. However, it's really encouraged that they continue to take those consecutively so that they can keep those skills going. Science can also, as far as those 3 years, can be taken either 11th grade or 12th grade. And then, of course, a PE would be taken junior year. And then if your student has not taken speech yet, they should consider taking that next year, or they will need to take it their senior year. That can be taken grades 10 through 12, any of those work. So some things to consider. We have our requirements, but it's really important to note that wherever your student is going after high school, their post-secondary institutions may have some requirements as far as the classes that they require for admission. So take a look at some of the colleges that your student is interested in and see if they have their specific requirements. And so some examples, these are just a couple, would be something like a minimum of 2 years of a single foreign language. So if that's a requirement for a school that your student is interested in, they should really look at doing that in the next couple of years if they haven't done that. And then also some colleges want 3 or more consecutive years of math, or some colleges also want to see more lab sciences. So as your student is looking at those sciences for next year, making sure that if lab sciences are required for a school that they're interested in, that would be a good idea. So here we have our flow of how our math courses go, and so it's really important to note that a student really should not need to double up or take 2 math classes in 1 year unless they are trying to get to advanced level math. And then they really should consider taking math all 4 years of high school just to keep those skills going. And then here's just an example of what a course looks like in our course listings, just to make sure that you know what the requirements are and if your student can take that particular course. So of course we have the course name and then the number which will be used for registration. And then it's very important to note if there's a certain grade level that can take the course, as well as the prerequisites that are needed in order to take the course, because they will not be able to take the course unless they take care of the prerequisites. And then of course the course description is at the bottom, and that gives you just a little general information on the course, but it's always important too, if you have any questions, to talk to teachers in that particular department or ask questions of your counselor too. And so we have some really great post-secondary opportunities here at River Falls High School. So these are 3 examples that you will see. First of all, we have one that is considered advanced standing, and that is one, as you'll see when you look at the course book, that is one that's considered credit in escrow. So you will take that, if you take that course, if you choose to go to that particular post-secondary institution, you will get the credits once you're enrolled. Similarly, we have transcripted credit, but that's a little bit different. But that one you will see the TC next to the name of the course, and that one you will actually get credit both at River Falls High School and at that particular institution as well. So it's actually, you're getting credit in both places. And then we have advanced placement, which more people are familiar with. Students have the opportunity to take AP courses here at River Falls High School, and they can take the course, just simply take the course, but then they also have the opportunity, if they want to take the test, the AP exam. And with the AP exam, they have the opportunity to potentially earn credit at a post-secondary institution, and that just depends on the qualifications of that particular school and what they require for the score. So students can take the class, and they can take the AP exam if they would like. The other opportunity that we also offer at River Falls High School would be the DACP program. And this is a great opportunity as well, because students can, if they take an AP course, they can take the AP exam, or they can elect to take it as a dual academic credit through UWRF. So you can see here which courses are offered in this program. And so it's a great way for students to get both high school credit and college credit and actually have a transcript from UWRF. Please note that in the course book, it does not include AP biology. That is hot off the presses, so hot that it didn't make it into the course book. So don't forget about AP biology. It should also be added to this list. as you start working through what next year may look like for your student and helping your student make some of these decisions, there are some really important things to keep in mind. Be really mindful of choices. Make sure that you're thinking about keeping the end in mind. Junior year is a year that gets very busy. Students are involved in a lot of activities, work picks up, classes get a little bit more difficult, so it's really important to keep a balance to make sure that your student is not getting overloaded, that they're being challenged but maybe not overloaded. And so consider things they need to do at home, school activities, consider work and all the different classes that they're interested in. Focus in on their passions and interests, and then that'll help you make sure that your student is staying that well-rounded and healthy individual. And it's really important to note too, especially when students are talking about what they're taking every year, it's not a race, it's your pace. It is your student's future, not everyone else's. So keep these in mind, please, as you think about courses for next year.
Thank you, Amanda. I will talk today about learning opportunities for juniors, and I'll start with talking about some Capstone learning opportunities. We have many opportunities. You've heard about the DACP program, but we also have the Early College Credit Program and Start College Now. I'll talk a little bit more about those in a minute. Transcripted credit, advanced placement. We also have an amazing work and career-based learning program that students are available when they're juniors. But these programs, you can't always sign up for as a junior. You do need to register for a full load, so that means 8 credits. And then once the school year begins next year, in September, late August, we will meet as a group and talk about if any of these opportunities are available to you. So for work-based learning, there is some paperwork that needs to be completed. Classes at the college need to be applied for. There needs to be space available. There's just an extra layer that needs to be done that we can't figure out until next year. So for right now, we need students to register for a full 8 credit. And we will talk a lot more about learning opportunities if they fit for your junior year, as that junior year is closer. The Early College Credit Program and Start College Now program do have deadlines. So if a student is interested in taking classes at UWRF or at CVTC, the deadline for fall semester is October 1st, and the deadline for the fall semester is March 1st. The deadline for the spring semester is October 1st. There will be a lot more information coming out if a student wants to apply for that program. In River Falls, at the high school, we do have the Laude System. It began with the class of 2021, this year's seniors. It does remove valedictorian and salutatorian recognition, but provides a different opportunity for students to be recognized when they're graduating. It's a system that's based on your GPA multiplied by your Laude points, and it gives you a score. On the right, you'll see what those recognition levels are. Some students are interested in making sure that that recognition is available to them, even as juniors or their senior year. You'll find the point score sheet in the Academic and Career Planning Guide, or there's also a worksheet that's available on our website that students can type into. This year, students will be taking the ACT Aspire as a sophomore, but as juniors, as the class of 2023, they will be taking the ACT, they'll be taking the ACT exam. There's a lot of information about the ACT. It's a state required test, and we have test prep that's available through students' Zello accounts. You can find more information. Again, this will be coming out shortly after registration. We'll send out a resource sheet that will provide you with information about if you'd like to practice for the ACT. But there's also optional opportunities for juniors from the PSAT to the ASVAB. There's a lot of information and a lot of practice available if students are interested. Specifically for registration tonight, we're providing you with this presentation. All students last week received the image on the right that talks about specifically what they need. There's a fillable form if they'd like to use a form. It's not required. What's really required is that the courses are placed in Infinite Campus. And there's a video that shows exactly how to enter them. If you have any questions or problems, please reach out to the school counseling office. Miss Amy O'Neill is at the front desk and can help troubleshoot password problems and direct your students if they have any needs related to the registration. We need all requests into Infinite Campus by February 1st. So please have your students make sure that that is entered. We will be sending home a sheet for parents to sign. That's to encourage conversation between parent and student to really talk about the classes that they're registering for and just keep that dialogue open so that you have some input or can talk to them about the choices they're making. As Amanda said, really making sure that it's the student's choice and what they're interested in is important. Sophomores this year have individual planning conferences that are available to them. That's a meeting specifically with the school counselor, with a parent, and with a student, all together to talk about the next 2 years of high school. It's a great opportunity to kind of map out what the 4 years look like. Yes, it is after registration, but if you needed to make a change, that registration, that individual planning conference is a great time. We would talk about any of these things. We would review the credits for high school. We would talk about career planning, goal setting, and really if you have any questions or problems, we could talk about it at that time, at that individual planning conference. You can watch for an invitation to come out around March or so. For any questions, here's a list of the Student Services Department, from school counselors to the transition coordinator, the school psychologist, the College and Career Readiness Program. We have lots of resources, and we want to help your student find the right path for them. So please, if you have questions or need information, don't hesitate to reach out. Teachers are an amazing resource for the courses, but if you're having problems with registration or questions about planning, please don't hesitate. We're here to talk about registration. We know it's an important and exciting part of high school. And then finally, we have questions, if there are any questions. Otherwise, I believe this presentation will be up on the website, and people will be available to answer questions if you'd like to follow up with email or phone at the end. So thank you all for listening.